Oklahoma State at Texas. The Cowboys traveling on the road down to DKR in Austin. I was at the game. This was ugly.
Did you sit with Matthew McConaughey?
Man, I didn't.
Did they do the
No, they couldn't. It was that bad.
The first half?
Cool looking stadium. I will say that the end zone with the little Longhorn that looks like some lady parts. It looks pretty cool in person. Everybody says it looks like ovaries. I probably shouldn't say that on air, but and then the other,
Lord,
anyways, exactly. But Texas, what the heck is going on? Drops their second straight conference game, and of course we get it. It was the Red River rivalry. It was a hard-fought game, but they completely collapsed in the second half. Yeah. This is my bad for the week, okay?
Yeah.
Texas came out. Bijan Robinson looked like a Heisman candidate. I mean, it was going well. They opened the second half even with a touchdown by Bijan Robinson. And then from that point moving forward, they did not get one first down the rest of the game.
It's tough too.
26 minutes and 43 seconds of not getting a first down. It was horrible. I was sitting there just watching, and I hate to say this because they've done a great job, and we'll get to it in a second, but Spencer Sanders can't get out of his own way. He makes horrible decisions. He does some good things with his feet, but they were like, Texas was trying to lose that game, and Oklahoma State just did everything that they possibly could to try and get out of their own way, and they ended up winning the football game. I mean, it was painful to watch Texas in that second half. So I'll ask you this. What is going on in Austin? What is the issue? Is it the quarterback? We decided last week that we thought Casey Thompson was doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I don't think he played well. I don't think he made good decisions.
Had an off game.
Is it Steve Sarkisian?
Yeah.
Is he not the man for the job? So on and so forth. Same old story. It wasn't, it wasn't Tom Herman. It wasn't. What is it? The head coach, or is it really, like I've been saying, a cultural issue from the top down at Texas that needs to peel back the layers and start from scratch because they're not producing the way that they should? Baylor has gone through a dang near death penalty experience, bounce back, new coach, not a good year or couple of years, bounce back. If Baylor can bounce back, if other schools can bounce back, if you can recruit up to Iowa State, Ames, Iowa, and win football games like Iowa State did last year and be having a better year this year, why can't the University of Texas that can get anybody they want, that has endless pockets, what is the issue in Austin?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily one of those things that you can just wrap up into one person, right? I think that, and interestingly enough, we talked about Dave Aranda coming off the Oklahoma State, loss with Baylor, saying we have a competitive maturity problem. It's very interesting when you think about it, the scope of college football in and of itself, when you have a group of kids that come out and have a 17-3 lead. They are driving on Oklahoma State in the red zone. Again, Casey Thompson, not his best game, but throws a pick six, right? Your competitive maturity in that way. We were always taught, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. Look, it's one play at a time, right? You expect for bad things to happen. That way, when they do happen, you already know that they're going to happen, and you just roll, right? And that's where I always, kind of get in the habit of, man, shoot, even on the golf course, I say one time, right? But like one time, just one time, one play, one time. That's all we got. That's all we got to do. And so what I think that we are seeing with this offense and really just this football team year in and year out is a lack of having this blood in the water mentality of we have these guys on the rope. Now is the time to really dig in. It's putting the gas pedal on. When you look at this team, they've been outscored 54-17 the last 2 weeks in the second half.
It's bad.
So that tells me that you either A, are not creating second half adjustments like the other team is, or B, that you have a scripted first quarter, first 15 plays, whatever it is for Sark, and then all of a sudden it's just like, hey, what happens when, we go 3 and out, 3 different drives in a row, after this touchdown, and your defense is gassed. I mean, they're absolutely gassed. So I think there's a lot of things that go into this, Trevor, and unfortunately, you're seeing a lack of confidence with being able to finish for the Texas Longhorns, and that's a tough place to be when you're in the locker room, when you're trying to establish a culture for Sark and his staff, knowing that they have the talent, knowing they have the guys. Bijan Robinson, to me, needs to be getting 40 carries a game. 40 carries a game. Keep doing it. You create plays off of your playmakers, and I think that too often he does this outside zone, it gets stopped for 2 yards, and you're off schedule. And then what do you do? Now you have an incomplete pass, and now it's 3rd and 12, and you're off the field again, and your defense is sitting over there trying to get on oxygen because here come another Big 12 offense coming down the stretch. So I think there's a lot of different things going on, but whatever is going on, senior leadership has to take over. Senior leadership has to take over. Guys that are leaders on that team need to get on the sideline, and that's what you don't see. When you watch these games for Texas, you don't see anybody getting in the face of anybody. You don't see guys like Bijan. He needs to be vocal. Casey Thompson, be vocal.
Yep. Hey, he handed you the keys to the castle. Be vocal. That's my point, and that is exactly where I wanted to head with this, right?
You're welcome.
You see, first of all, to your point, Bijan Robinson falls forward for 6-7 yards every time he touches the ball.
Time.
The fact that they didn't get a first down for 26 minutes and 43 seconds is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But that is what I'm pinning it on today. Tomorrow I'll probably have a different mindset about what's going on down in Austin. But the best teams that I've ever watched, following the Spurs growing up, we won 5 championships. I got 5 rings. I sit on my couch and I let them twinkle. To all you Mavs fans and everything else, it's embarrassing how good we were. But those guys were player-led. You had Tim Duncan, you had David Robinson, you had Monty Ginobili, you had Tony B. You had these guys that ran the team.
Yep.
Pop just put them out there and was kind of the guy. OU, when we went to the college football playoff 2 years in a row when I was there, I only went once. My brother was on the team. I was at A&M the next year. But we went to the college football playoff. Those teams were player-led.
Yeah.
You had leaders that said, I'm not going to accept this. I'm not going to accept that. This is the standard. Yes, Lincoln Riley. Yes, Bob Stoops. Yes, Dave Aranda. Yes, Steve Sarkisian. Whoever it is driving the ship because they are the head coach.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you don't have players leading the team, you will not be successful.
Yep.
Casey Thompson, he handed you the keys. Step up.
Yep.
Step up. Get in people's face. Get fired up. Celebrate. All those different things that we don't see. Bijan Robinson, I know I've heard you're a great person. I've heard you're a better person than you are a player. Step up. Get these guys going. Offensive line, whoever it is in that locker room, step up and be a leader. Be bigger than just a kid, right? You don't have to be a kid anymore.
Preach.
You're a grown man.
Preach.
Be alongside Sark. Don't be under Sark.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
what
love
we've seen. We've seen this figurehead, Tom Herman and Charlie Strong and everything, and they're leading and they're driving this culture, and even the seniors are going to stay in the dorms and what have you. No. Wake up, do your job, be a leader, be a player-led team. Yeah. I think that's the biggest issue.
Man, I love it too, and a lot of it is coming off of someone. They're just waiting. They're waiting for someone else to make that move and make that step in it. And at some point, as you alluded to, not to hit the nail on the head again, but at some point, someone's got to get pissed off enough to say this is not happening again. We're too dang good of a football team to let this happen again. What's wrong with putting up 70 on somebody in the first half? Shit, man, we did it all the time at Baylor. We loved it. We loved it. You weren't taking us off the field, right? And that's what you have to do. Put up 70. That way they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance to come back. It is an amazing, we were talking about home and away, right? Just football in general, you hardly ever see this because football gives you the ability to impose your will on somebody every snap. Maybe not for us as much, but for a majority of the 10 other positions on the field, you get to impose your will on somebody. And there is nothing better than just watching a team fold. When you do that, and when you do that repeatedly, that's when you get this like, oh, man, we got Texas coming back this week. Oh, man, we got Iowa State. It doesn't matter who it is, but that's what I think that the Texas of old did to people. And somewhere along that line, it just stopped and it didn't matter anymore. And now people are like, man, Texas, that's a win for us. They need to get back to that. They need to get back to that, to where, they put a stamp on it, to where, man, people are tired of lining up against UT every time. And that starts with your big guys up front. I think you hit it on the head. It's got to be the big guys up front that say, hey, man, you put it in Five's hands and let us go.
Support from today's episode, the Trevor and Bryce Show, is brought to you by Manscaped. Super excited about this. They are the world leader in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped has just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. It's a sleek, well-designed, and precision-engineered trimmer. And I got to tell you, I tried it, and I was blown away by the experience. So I'll just tell you a quick story.
Oh, crap.
Every time that you take that blade down there to get ready for wifey or, heightened awareness, because that is scary.
Wow.
A sharp blade down there next to the junk, not about it. So with Manscaped, that trimmer, it has helped me with my confidence going down below the waist. I don't have to be so nervous. The way that Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer was simple. They focused on the intelligent functionality and providing a comfortable grooming experience. The Lawnmower 4.0 was developed with their trademark skin-safe technology, which includes a cutting-edge ceramic blade that reduces snags and nicks, so I don't have to be so scared. You need to be confident in any tool you use on your family jewels, baby. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 4000K LED spotlight, so you can see everything you're doing, an attachment that allows you to change the length of your trim, which I think is kind of weird, but anyways, and a wireless charger. Most importantly, you want to make sure that you're not using the same trimmer on your nuts and on your face. That's just nasty. So head over to manscaped.com where you will get 20% off and free shipping with the code TBS20. That's Trevor Bryce Show 20, TBS20. Once again, 20% off with TBS20 as a user now of the Lawnmower 4.0. Trust me when I tell you, your balls will thank you.